Welcome to the A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal podcast, where each week I, Dr. Mal, share life lessons and motivation to kickstart your Monday. Whether you're starting your day or winding down, join me or me and my future guest for a burst of positivity and a fresh perspective. Let's make Mondays meaningful together. Greetings and happy Monday, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Mallory D. McCoy, and welcome to this week's episode of A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal. As always, may this broadcast bring you what you need in the present moment. May my light exude positivity and kindness, and may my love be extended to all who could use a little extra. Ashe. Let's seize the moment. Today's topic is content creation. For many consuming content all day, content creation might look like cute captions and perfect lighting, but let me keep it real. It's a whole job. And if you have a full-time job, it's a whole other job. From figuring out your niche to understanding your audience, building a brand online takes consistency, creativity, and a thick skin. Now, you know I love me a good definition, and I'm team hashtag facts over feelings, so let's get into it. Here are a few things that folks don't always talk about. Number one, it's strategy, not luck. Going viral ain't just vibes. It's understanding algorithms, tracking your analytics, and learning what actually resonates with people. Number two, consistency beats perfection. Sometimes it's not your best post that blows up. It's the one you didn't overthink. Showing up regularly builds trust, period. Number three, creativity burnout is real. There's a mental toll that comes with always being on. Content creators are often producers, writers, editors, marketers, and the talent all at once. Ask me how I know about this one, because that's me, period. Number four, you are the brand. Whether you like it or not, people are connecting with you, your voice, your values, and your vibe. So the more authentic you are, the more magnetic your content becomes. And I actually learned about this in its totality when I was teaching. My former students don't remember specifically what I taught them. They may remember an anecdote or two about what I taught them, but they remember more about who I was to them. And so when you're in a virtual space, authenticity and showing up as your true self brings people to you. And that's important. And then number five, everybody's not going to get it. And that's okay. Your content isn't for everybody. It's for the people who see you. And that's all I want. It's for people to see me. And so as for me, I still feel like a baby in the game of content creation. I've always been open to sharing my life and telling my story. In fact, in a private conversation with myself and the Most High, I learned that my life purpose is to share my story. But I had done it through pictures, long captions, and heartfelt reflections. I even had a blog before I had a podcast, which I would love to continue to blog someday, but I actually stopped blogging because that was a lot of time to move into the podcasting world. But that's a different kind of storytelling, those long captions, pictures, and things like that. It requires intention on multiple levels, not just in what you're sharing, but also how you're sharing it. The music, the aesthetics, the vibe, the flow, and whether or not it lands with others. Most of the time when I share something, I'm not checking to see if it resonates with people. Now, I'm in the new space. I've had people reach out offering to help me by changing my titles, boosting my SEO, cleaning up metadata, and making my content more optimized. And while I know that's the game, I'm currently choosing the organic route, quality over quantity. I could pay for followers or boost views, but that's not a barrier I'm willing to cross, at least not yet. What I am realizing is that I am orally and visually gifted when it comes to creating content because I already create my own graphics, edit my own videos, and I'm the one that's setting the tone and the aesthetic so that it feels like me. Maybe in the future, I will offer my editing and video and audio gifts to others too. I'm just planning out loud, but for real though, but we'll see what happens. But whether you're building a brand, growing a platform, or just trying to figure out how to show up online with more intention, I hope that this episode and this conversation gives you something to think about, because behind every viral moment is a real person doing real work with a real purpose. And that's the story worth telling. All guest podcasts are titled What They Want You to Know, and my intention is to dive deep into the minds of experts, thought leaders, and fascinating individuals to uncover the one thing they truly want you to know about their area of expertise. I intend to unapologetically and unequivocally center the voices of people from powerful groups targeted by oppression. However, if there are other community members who can interject on the topic, they'll be invited to the cookout too. Y'all, today's guest has the internet and the kids hollering. Literally, I'm sitting down with none other than Clarence Lomax III, better known to the internet streets as the C in comedy. Clarence is a filmmaker, a comedian, an author of children's books, and a masterful content creator with a BA in strategic communications. But let's be real, if you've been online at all in the last year, you've already seen his work. Clarence has taken his hilarious food reviews and layered them with comedy and faith, building an audience of over 130K on Instagram, nearly 74K subscribers on YouTube, and an unbelievable 785K followers on TikTok. But what really broke the internet is self-created, totally infectious, and now officially Spotify released song, Big Back. Big Back, Big Back, Big Back, Big Back. And it's not just a song, it's a whole cultural movement. You can go anywhere and you can hear Big Back. And let's talk business. He didn't just go viral and leave it at that. He scaled the moment, launching Big Back merch and turning his content into a brand. And what's wild is that we've known each other for years. We met on his birthday, which everybody celebrates every year without knowing that they do. It's the 4th of July. In the year of our Lord, 2008. That's 17 years ago, y'all. We were babies. And ever since then, we have always stayed connected through social media. I know that in the same year or the year before, he had a life-changing event happen to him. We almost didn't have him here to share his joy, but the Most High had different plans for his life, and we're eternally grateful for that. So whether Clarence is serving laughs, life lessons, or eating plates, he's doing it all with a message of faith at the center. He is proof that purpose, comedy, and creativity can coexist. And I cannot wait for y'all to hear the heart behind the humor. So grab a notebook. Hopefully, it's one of my astrology notebooks on my website, www.whenmallorylives.com. And if not, go grab one. Get ready to hear some dimes and gems. Here's what we talked about. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. Can you start by introducing yourself to my audience?
Okay, well, hello. I am Clarence Lomax, the scene comedy. I'm a comedian, author, all around entertainer, and yeah, that's Mr. Big Back himself.
Absolutely. And he's being incredibly modest. And I'll talk about here in a second why he's being modest. It's always the people that have a ministry like you do that are the most modest. And you're like, okay, you're supposed to be rattle, 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 but I love that you leave a space for us to discover you through those few modalities that you just talked about, because it's deep. And also, let's talk about our connection. And I do talk about,
Yes,
and we'll talk about it when I do my intro for you. But we go back like four flats on a Cadillac.
yeah, hopefully.
2008, on your birthday, is when we met. And I even saw the picture that you ended up in one of my pictures. I never tagged you in it on Facebook, but you ended up, and I just think like 17 years ago, we were babies.
Yes. Yes.
So much life has happened in between that time and now. But I do want to talk about though, and can you give us, because a lot of people may not know because they just came into your life now, but you
Uh,
had a life-changing experience in 2008.
yeah.
So can you,
Yeah, 2007. It
oh,
was
sorry.
yeah. So first of all, I want to talk about when we met. So I've always wanted this. I don't know why this always stuck out to me. So it was right before my accident. So I was going to Lincoln University, and I had transferred to UMKC. So after we met, I was new on campus. I was trying to figure it out, and I was just like kind of just like it was like a shock to me. Of course, I knew some people, but just like the whole experience was just new. So I think at the time my dad had triple bypass surgery, so I was like, I'm gonna move back home. So I'm on campus, and I was in one of those offices, and you came up to me. You was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey," but like I was in such like shock trying to figure. I couldn't remember exactly who you were. So we had this whole conversation, and I think you might have mentioned Rick or something like that. And so I was like, okay, she knows somebody named Rick that I know. And so when I left, I was like, oh, Mallory. I was like, but I
That's,
played it off so good because I was
that's so
I
much.
played it off so well. But in my mind, I was like, oh, the people are nice here. Like you were like one of my first interactions, like on campus, the first person that came up to me. Like you were like so excited. And I was like, oh, they're nice here. So
Okay, okay, that is hilarious because A, I don't remember it, and B, that is my default. I'm default like, hey, how are like it's sometimes I people can be taken aback by that, but I certainly didn't realize that. I bet you before that. 2008 is when I took a first picture of you. So I assumed it was 2008. But if it was 2007, 18 years. That is crazy. Crazy. Because I graduated from UMKC in 2008. And so
wow.
yeah, so whew, there whew, that, that put me back. I wasn't ready to go back far. I have a question. When was your very first dive into doing content creating?
I guess I could touch on the accident a bit just quickly here, because it kind of ties into that. So yeah, it was Christmas morning. A few of my friends had to get together. So my friend Angela, her family had to get together, and I went over there. It was fun. It was like a real family atmosphere. But I remember before I actually went to her family's house, I was driving my mama's car, and it just stopped. Like I turned the key over, the lights didn't come on, like the car just stopped. So I called my dad and I told him what happened. He was like, just come home. And I was like, all right. He was like, you can't get it figured out. We'll get a tow or whatever. So it eventually started back up, and I was like, I ain't about to go home. I'm about to go kick it. I went over there, had fun. We was just chilling. So I'm driving home. It's late at night. It's Christmas morning, probably like 2 in the morning, and I'm driving down 350 highway, and it looked like it's pitch black. Um, and out of nowhere, I just get into a car crash. So long story short, it was a drunk driver, and we had a head-on collision. I just remember being in the car, and it was like some twerk music playing, and I was like, oh man, I was trying to reach over to my iPod. That's how old it was. I'm trying
iPod.
to
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I just want to play some gospel music. But then I looked down, that's when I seen like my wrist was like on the back of my arm. And I was like, I messed up. And I couldn't move. And I was just thinking to myself, because my brother had gotten into an accident. I believe it might have been a year before that, motorcycle accident. And I just knew in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm being in the hospital for a while. So got to the hospital. Yeah, that was like a year long thing. Like went through the process of learning how to walk again. My friend Cortez came and visited me like almost every day. I was kind of tired of it. I'm like, bro, I'm good.
Go home. Go home, Roger.
Yeah. So But yeah, they really my friends and family really kept me going. So when I got out of the hospital at the time, I was going to school and I was really just trying to figure it out. And when I got out, I said I'm gonna just pursue like what I want to do. So that's really when I started creating content. I bought a camcorder from someone off of Craigslist. I think I shot my own music video and I YouTube how to edit music videos. One of the first videos I shot was Rick.
Yes.
um,
I love that. Rick is my brother-in-law, so that's how I got connected with Clarence because they went to high school together. Um,
yeah.
so uh,
Yep. So shot Rick's videos, started shooting Cortez videos. Then from there, it just started growing. So I started doing skits with my homeboy Rocco and Jermaine, and those were like I would say like the defining moments of like my creativity because we were really just like dissing each other back and forth like in a funny way, but like we were getting like super creative like with the lighting and all of that. Even I didn't even realize it at the time. So it was just a funny thing like amongst us and some other friends. But that may have been 2009, 2010, when I really started to get into content creation. I wasn't as consistent. So yeah, that's when it started.
I
That's when it
and I
started.
remember. I remember all of those videos that y'all would post and stuff like that, and that's
Yeah.
wild and crazy. It was that long ago.
Yeah.
That's the part, and people just think like, "Hey, Imma just get online and make a couple of videos," and some people are lucky to just make a couple of videos and then pop. But then, you got people that's been grinding since way back when,
Yeah.
a decade, over a decade ago.
Yeah.
So, what sparked your idea? Because now your content involves you doing food reviews. So,
Hmm.
how did you move from comedy? I guess it's not move from because comedy is still very much the undercurrent of all
Hmm.
the things that you do. But how did you get into the food part?
Really, when Big Back took off. So I'm gonna be honest. I really don't like doing food content. um, I've never been the type of person to eat out different places. I enjoy doing that and eating with my family. But as far as like just the core of my creativity is so much bigger than food. But I had to slow it down, I guess, because I'm the type of person, and some of my friends will tell you, I'll start a trend, and while it's hot, I'll just move on to the next thing. Like, that's how I kind of operate. So when Big Back took off last year, I realized it was coming like just a huge thing, right? And initially, when I made it, I was trying to find something trendy. I needed to post some content. I just say I'm gonna make a song off a trendy word just to I'm gonna say it in the mirror when I slack on going to the gym. Call myself a big back. And so I knew it would go viral, but I didn't know it would be like as big as it was. Um so it instantly turned into a food trend. And so when I seen it, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I was talking to a few people and they was like, just ride the wave. Just so that's where the food content kind of came in. And I did a few videos from it. And then I started reaching out to restaurants. So I know with Kansas City there have been like a lot of break-ins that restaurant owners are going through. So I'm like, maybe this virality can help them get more business. So I started reaching out to restaurant owners and just doing a collaboration exchange, free food for promo type thing, and from there it's been growing. So I've been doing it behind the scenes. I've been writing and planning like some short films and sketches, but the food content is kind of the main thing right now.
So what I hear you saying is that when you went viral with this song that you decided that you were using for yourself,
Yeah.
that you were saying to get motivated to
Yeah.
make a different change for yourself, then all of a sudden it turned into this food thing, and then from that you decided to scale your business because now your business had grown into this thing that you didn't even know that. I mean, Clarence, 785,000 followers on TikTok,
Yeah.
134,000 followers on Instagram, and 74, roughly 74, I think it's 73.9 thousand followers on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now, yeah, now I have to make the merch. Now I have to record the song professionally. Now I have to, do the
Yeah.
streams on Spotify. Do you know how many streams it has on Spotify?
So on Spotify is just 730,000, but YouTube, my streams on YouTube was like 3 million.
Yeah, 3.1 million. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, because I've been meaning to check, but
Yeah, it's 3.1 now. So people are streaming it. So like, dang. And then let me just interject this. This podcast is very black, by the way. I'm unapologetically black. And
good.
I was recently in an indoor playground. Oh, conga. I was in conga, and I heard a little alabaster kid call another kid big back, and I was like, oh, so we there. But like, to think, how does that feel when you see or hear people around the world singing a song that originated just from you wanting to motivate yourself to eat better?
I know. So to be completely honest, it's overwhelming, and I still haven't really taken it in. Like, it's still hard for me to grasp. So I'm like, right now I'm at the library. I rented a study room because it'd be loud at home, kids. But my friend, she's a librarian, and she just had me going there randomly to speak to the kids, and they were like so hyped. Like when they realized it was me, and I'm like, this is crazy. And so I just went in there, talked to them, talked about the journey a little bit. They were singing the song, and they were like talking about some of the other content I had posted. And I was like, when I was walking out, I was like, that's kind of wild. Like, but it's like really hard for me to grasp because I'm still in like grind mode. Like, I'm still trying to like, elevate. So I don't know. That's one thing I'm trying to do is like figure out how to take those moments where I just step back, no matter how hectic things are, and just kind of like see like what I've created so far. So I do realize it, but it's hard to take in sometimes. Like.
And I would certainly want to encourage you to find that balance. So creators get into a create, 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 create. That's such a masculine thing to do because we're like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
There's the balance part. There's the other part to that, and that's the rest. In
Mm,
the rest
what
is
is that?
exactly, but in the rest is where we grow. Think about, because nature teaches us everything. So think about how nature does. If nature is creating, there's some rest happening too. And then
Hmm.
rest is where you receive. The In the creation, yes, you can receive, but just think about, if you take just a moment, just be like, I need to go away from this just for a second and process this. Process the magnitude of what's happening. So then you can, you're already doing an amazing job, but it's just like, for you, you have to take the time to process, because this is huge. This is huge. I just listed off, there's 785,000 people looking at you on TikTok alone. So my next question is, what's your strategy for each platform, or how do you decide? Because even on Facebook, you kind of kept that's for the old folks.
Yeah.
Got big back. So, it's you got 3,000 followers on Facebook, but those are people you've been knowing from
Yeah.
way back when, but then you have all of these new people that just know you,
Yeah.
content.
So the platforms is constantly change, right? So I'm really I'm figuring that out. It seems like on a weekly basis. So with Instagram, I kind of study the algorithms of everything. So I'll spend time scrolling on each platform, TikTok, Instagram, and from doing that, you can kind of see like the flow, like what works, different things that work on different platforms, even like with hashtags or like words. So that's really my strategy. I'm always just studying the platforms, spend time scrolling, seeing what works. I really don't have like a posting time. I don't post every day like I used to because I'm doing so much more behind the scenes now, like different like partnerships and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get back up to a point where I post 3 times a day on every platform. So I post the same thing, but if this makes sense, I kind of post like with the flow of the platform. So like yesterday on Instagram, um, I don't know if you've seen the picture when I was on the news.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah, my friends, they made a like a meme of me, and it said I was talking about being a P Diddy victim. so,
Oh my God.
so, so, like for instance, on Instagram, I realized like that the photo with a trendy topic, catchy caption that works. It did really well. On Facebook, it didn't do as well, but I just posted one picture. I didn't post a bunch of pictures. I'm gonna do a photo carousel on TikTok today with that, to see how it performs. So just things like just little things like that.
Do you
So yeah.
do you ever integrate Chat GPT to help you uh, those things or AI?
It's funny that you asked. So last night I was on ChatGPT and I was just trying to see like a strategy to build, but it was really for Facebook. So with Facebook, on my personal page, I got 3,000 followers, but I have an artist page that last year I grew like crazy. So I never posted on my artist page on Facebook. So I took all these videos that I've been posting for years on TikTok and IG, and I just started posting like 2 to 3 videos a day. So I grew from like 500 followers to 8,000 in like 3 weeks, right? It was, I got monetized, like life was good, right? So my mom makes these church fans, and she did one, like it was like a blue bandana pattern. So I said my mama was making church fans for Crips, and they they gave me a violation. They gave me a violation. I was so hurt. I was like, I thought that was it. I was like, I'm finding my community. I'm like, my views just shot up. Everything's going well. I'm about to be rich. And they was like, no, you're not. So, so yeah, I've started using ChatGPT to just kind of like find strategies. But I also find a lot of strategies just from talking to some of my close friends who are creators that are also doing well.
That's beautiful. So you have a community. Maybe I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it's really good. So it's a lot of days like I'm like down because to me things haven't fully popped off yet, and like just having a conversation with one of them, I get so inspired. They'll tell me what they're doing that works, and we just kind of feed off of each other. So
That's beautiful. I was actually going to ask you that because I know that we just spoke about it. Like you can be discouraged in this place. So your friends and people who are of like mind are ways that you move through those feelings of discouragement and stuff like that. Do you
mhm.
have any other thing that helps you to move through?
God, just praying. So so right now I'm trying to when we talked about balance earlier. So just with life and everything that life brings, and then trying to still build on social media, trying, and even with that, I told you I don't post as much. Like I don't post daily. But even feeling like when I don't post as much, that I'm like missing out or falling behind. So really just prayer. Like this morning I had to like take a step back and pray because things were so hectic. I was like, I got an interview, I got to create content. I'm back in school now. I don't know what made me do that, but um, so
Congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, that's really helped me with balance, but I have to like consistently do it and consistently stay on it. So
Yeah. Um, I do have a question. How has this escalation of fame affected your family? Because I know you're married with children.
yeah.
what does that look like for them? Because when you're famous, that they didn't get famous, you did.
Yeah.
So how is that affecting them?
So I think everybody's handling it well. So with my kids, a lot of them they're in a lot of my sketches. They do a lot of ads with me. So I know my son, I recently had a conversation with him because I think sometimes like the kids will try to get under his skin, will like maybe like commenting on something about me or making fun of me. Or I know the conversation we had last week, he said somebody told him that I didn't have enough followers to be monetized and that I was broke and stuff like that. And that really bothered him. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to approach it, but I just let him like express how he felt about it. I'm glad he told me. But yeah, stuff like that. And then my daughter Ivy, she's the real star. She just gets annoyed sometimes. She's like, "You people keep coming to me talking about I seen you in the video." Like she's tired of it.
Comedy.
So and my main thing was my wife because my wife she's an introvert, right? And so once I realized how Big Back was getting, one day I'm on the phone. I'm sitting in front of the house with my friend on the phone. With my friend Cam, Big Kim, I am, and I see like a group of like 15 kids like marching to my house. So I'm on the phone with him, and I'm like, "Yeah, they must be coming down here to see if Gavin want to play." They rushed the car asking for autographs, saying, "I didn't know that was you." Like it was hectic, and I remember her being out of town. And I told her, I'm like, man, when you get back, I'm just warning you, like it might be this, when we're in public. And she wasn't going for it. But so far it's so far it's been okay. But it definitely put me in a headspace to keep them in mind more, like with the this content I post. So
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the things that it's not really something like when you start in a virtual space like this that you consider. But yeah,
yeah,
I've bit my tongue a couple of times. I just did that. In one of the videos that I posted, when I did it, felt liberated, but I didn't
yeah,
know that it would affect other people in the way that it did. And
yeah,
so, yeah, just that mindfulness of, yeah, this is a space, and when you put it out there, it lives forever,
yep,
and you don't know how people are going to receive it, or even like you said in your case, when your children are having to defend you um,
yeah,
because of something you posted, and then they're like, "Well, here are my feelings about it," but they're telling me their feelings. It's like it's coming toward me, and I'm not supposed to be able to feel some type of way about it, but
yeah,
I do. Like I really feel some type of way about it. So
yeah,
I get it from I get it from all vantage points. Um,
yeah.
you've mentioned your relationship with God and talked about how comedy is the undercurrent, but the container that holds that undercurrent is God.
Yeah.
How do you balance and walk that line between being authentic and then having the outreach that you have?
So what do you mean by being authentic in the outreach?
Well,
Like,
so being authentic, because sometimes when you underscore God as the engine for the things that you do,
mhm.
people assume that you're not going to be human.
Oh, I got you. I got
That,
you.
I think one of the people that I follow, and I know that you follow, and you've been actually reposted by Kev on stage. He's really vocal about that. You know,
Yeah.
people have put him in this box of
Yeah.
you can only act like this because God is the container that your ministry sits in. And it's like, well, but no, I'm human too.
Yeah.
I do human things. How do you navigate through that?
I just be me. So I was watching shout out to Kevin on stage, by the way. That's one of my favorite comedians. But I was watching an interview Kirk Franklin just did, and they were asking him why he didn't laugh at Kevin Hart's jokes at the BET Awards. And he was really talking about the church. and how really they're so judgmental. So he's like, I know if I would have laughed, I would have said you shouldn't have laughed, you shouldn't have did this. I don't care. Like I feel like with me, as long as I talk to God and I don't have any conviction about anything, like I'm gonna just do. So I got some movie scripts that I'm writing that I know are gonna get backlash if people be like, "Oh, he a Christian?" Like that don't even make sense. But it's like the underlying message in it. Like I know it's not gonna be received by certain people. So as far as me, I try not to cuss. I cuss though. Um,
Listen, and so do the other people that are probably judging you about cutting.
True. True. And and I'm not even gonna say that back to him. I'm gonna just do me. So with my content, it's not a thing that like I hold back from cussing. It's just something that I really don't, it doesn't really come to mind a lot of times. But I started like playing some music in some of my skits and things like that I'm sure people wouldn't agree with. But I'm just like, it is what it is. So I think the best way to move about that is like as long as God is good with it and your family is good, like it really don't matter what people say. And it's not really like a disrespectful thing, it's just a real thing.
Yeah,
So
it's a human thing. And so
yeah.
just wondering how you navigated that because, like you said, people are vocal and have been vocal and very judgy about other people who are in the limelight and
Yeah.
how they've conducted their lives as humans. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't, do that.
Yeah, if I'm telling you, if you let people, and this is for any content creator watching, I literally just talked to the kids here about this because one of them was asking like, how do I deal with trolls? I actually like trolls. Trolls are funny sometimes. Like, they be posting some funny comments, but I'm like, if you start to let people dictate how you move, it's gonna keep happening. People will condemn you for like everything, even with me on my weight loss journey. Like I'm still eating in restaurants, posting the big bag content, and I've gotten comments about that. But I'm like, this is a part of the journey. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I do like off camera when I'm, you know what I'm saying? So even that, and I talked to the kids about this too. So, and this is when I stopped caring about what people thought. This was, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was at Walmart and I seen this guy that had a MAGA hat on, right? And so I did a little interview with him, and it was really just to like see if I can get something funny. I wasn't like taunting him or gonna do anything crazy. So we're talking because I was asking like, how does he feel like wearing the hat in public? Like, does people like criticize him? And then I forgot the question I asked, and he was like, I got friends that are black, and that's like that typical like joke. that's that's like that typical joke. So I made a comment about it in the video, and I edited it, and I just posted that clip. It seemed like they sent that clip to all Trump supporters, like they were like going in, and so I was like, dang, because that was after my first video that hit 30 million, and I was just trying to like produce some more content, find another hit, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be the one. It's like they sent that video to only Trump supporters, and they were in the like every comment was just going in on me, like, and my thing was, I was like, the joke was supposed to be that it was like the typical joke, like I got friends that are black, I'm not racist, and so in my mind, I'm like, when I post this, all the black people gonna be like, yeah, that's hilarious. No, they were on me, and so that actually bothered me for a while because I'm like, people didn't get like the angle I was coming from. And then I never tried to explain myself. I remember a few times I like wrote in the comments trying to explain like what angle I was coming from. They were like, "You're a liar." I'm like, oh, "Okay, all right." So after that, after I got over that, I'm like, "Oh, I don't care what people, I don't care what they talking about." So
Yeah, wow. But and then also with that, the positive and the negative attention does things for monetization. So that's a beautiful
yeah,
segue into that. Do you see yourself being a full-time content creator, if not already?
I do, I do. So going back to Kev on stage, Kev on stage. always talks about not quitting your job until like social media like really takes off to where you're getting so much money and you're so busy from social media that it's kind of hard to keep up with your job. So I got fired. I think it's been 2.5 years now. So I've been doing social media full time, but it has been a struggle. So it's like those big checks come in, but you gotta wait. So while you waiting, like stuff is getting past due. So I'm definitely on that path and trying to figure that out. But this is definitely something that I want to do full time.
And if it's not too private, how frequent do you get paid from? So, like, do they hold it until you accumulate a certain amount of money? And then is it quarterly, weekly, bi-weekly? Like, what's the frequency?
So really, I don't get paid a lot from monetization. A lot of my money comes from brand deals, different partnerships, streams. So I've worked with like Minute Maid. And I will say this. So the first time that I really was like, okay, I can do this. Um, it came from a brand reached out to me. It was a cologne company, and they offered me, I believe it was $7,000, and they said they want me to do. It was like a 3-month term though. So they just wanted me to post like 2 videos a day on TikTok. It could be anything, like a 2-second video, five. So I signed the contract, and then found out the company was a scam. So I had got down. I was like, oh man, this is I guess this is not possible. So I created this parody that went viral that made me cry. I don't know if you heard that one.
No, no. Oh, yes, yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so when that made me cry came out, B&B Theaters had used it on like a sponsored post of theirs. So I contacted them and I was like, hey, I would love to work with y'all. Um, and so from that, I got a $9,000 contract from them for that. So yeah, so that was 3 videos, up to a minute. They just wanted me to promote different movies. So stuff like that, like I get paid like instantly, right? But then I have like streaming, and that comes in monthly. So like I make the most from YouTube, but YouTube like come in like this month, and I might not get another check until August. You know what I'm saying? It's it's good to have multiple streams, multiple partnerships, collaborations, and I get paid a little bit for monetization, but monetization for me definitely hasn't paid the bills in a while. So
That's good to
um,
know, though. And so, like, when brands reach out to you, are they contacting you via email? Are they contacting you on content? Like, how do they reach to you? Get to you.
it it varies. A lot of the times they reach out on Instagram. That's why I like Instagram. It's like really easy to connect with brands on there. I've had one brand, and I'm not gonna mention them because they're annoying, and the deal hasn't went through yet. So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot just in case. But I had one like really big brand reach out to me on TikTok messaging, which I've never had like a huge brand reach out to me on TikTok. So yeah, but most of the time it's Instagram. Sometimes it's email, and sometimes I reach out and I just like introduce myself, like, "Hey, I'm this person." I'm like, "Oh yeah, come on."
Get your pitch popping. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably need to be more diligent about that. But I am see, I'm not the creator like you. I am the I'll do it, and if you listen, but if I do it and you listen that and you don't listen, then I ain't getting paid for it. So then I'm like, uh, yeah. So I got to figure it out. I got to get over myself. But I'm a quality over quantity type person.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so like today I'm celebrating. I got 100 subscribers, but I didn't go looking for them. They went and looked for me on
yeah.
YouTube, right? So I'm like, yeah, like that's cool. I got 100 subscribers that actually listen to my podcast, you know? So
That's good. People don't realize like I always talk to people and tell them like big numbers don't matter. They really don't. Like it's really your, like you said, the quality of your content, your talent. So that's good. Congrats.
Thank you. I'm happy too, and I celebrated with a little post today. So
Yeah.
I've heard you drop a couple of lessons, but out of all the lessons that you've learned in this space, what's the most unexpected lesson that you've learned?
I want to say consistency because, like I said, when I initially started, I was not consistent, and I don't know what in my mind was making me think like opportunities was just gonna start coming in with me. Like I'll post a video 1 month and wouldn't post another one for like 4 months. So I didn't build that trust with my audience. Like, okay, he's gonna stay around, keep us entertained. So consistency is definitely one, and that's with anything like consistently posting, getting those emails, commenting back, connecting with people that way. I want to say being authentic, even though I don't feel like I've ever not been authentic, but I've have like been on a search to I guess get that next big hit is what I say. And so I may have done like I used to take my shirt off and I'd be like, this is gonna get it up. I'm gonna take my shirt off. So that was one of the things I used to do, and I stopped doing it because I was like, man, I'm not about to like keep doing this just to appease people. So yeah, like that. Just really staying true to yourself, even if you are like following like something trendy or something like that. Just stay true to yourself.
I love that. Okay, so I have two questions that I always ask my guests. And my first question that I always ask my guests is out of all the things, this can include like what we just talked about or just life in general. What do you want us to know?
I want everybody to know God loves you. Okay, because even in the creator space, and this is from like personal experience talking to people, a lot of people seek validation from people on social media, like trying to build a following. And so you might reach a point to where you're posting, maybe things are going good, then you hit a plateau or your views drop, and then now you like second guessing yourself, like, dang, like, am I worth it? Am I really talented? So knowing that you have that love from God, just being solidified in that and then taking your gift to the world. I think that's really important.
Yes.
God loves everybody.
Internal to external, making sure your foundation is secure.
Yeah.
Like you said, people often get into this space and insecurity anyway. And so
Yeah.
when they don't have the, hey, look at me, and
Yeah.
celebrating that, then they spiral, you know, they spiral
Yeah.
down. It's like, no, you look at you. And
Yeah.
that there is this higher power and this higher energy that is got you divinely guided, you're divinely protected, and
Yeah.
everything's going to work out for the highest good of you.
Yeah.
I love that. And then our next question is a prompt. I used to think this, but now I know this. So what did you used to think, but now you know?
Oh my gosh. Well,
That
I feel like I'm taking a test. I used to think
no, I'm a teacher.
I used to think this, but now oh, okay, this is a good one. I used to think that I was the only one going through issues and having problems. But now I know that everybody is going through it.
Everybody's going through it.
Everybody's going through something.
Everybody's going through it. Ask me how I know. And so easy we can get in these social media spaces because the the counteraction to the chaos in someone's life can be that they post the joy online. So you don't get to see
Mm,
their whole entire life because they're counteracting their chaos with joy.
yeah.
But that is not real all the time because, especially, I'm saying, like, if you have a large following, or not even a large following, a quality following, and they're seeing, oh, this is happy you, this is joyful you. But over here, I'm going through a divorce. I'm moving.
Yeah.
All my stuff is all over the place. Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
They're like, then the authenticity comes in when you get to share how you move through, how you're
Yeah.
able to celebrate the joy and keep the joy centered
Yeah.
when you got all this chaos. And so
Yeah.
that's the authentic part that people don't run it back to share. Like, hey,
Exactly.
I know y'all see me up here cupcaking cheek to cheek, but this actually is what's happening. Each other all the time. And we,
Yeah.
like that is what I respect most about being in a content space is when people are like that. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you said that. Okay. So before we wrap it up, tell us about what's happening next for you. What future projects do you have? I didn't forget to mention, but certainly you are a children's book author.
Yes.
Yes, love that. What shows do you have coming up? What food collabs do you have coming up? Tell us what we can expect from the Sea and Comedy.
All right. So right now I'm in the process of building. So I always every time I have like something big going on, I'm like, okay, that's over. What's next? So right now I'm in my what's next phase. I had the Breakfast Club interview, the interview with Fox 4. So now, like I said, I've been writing scripts. My friend Robert Coppage III, he has a series called Black Hookah, and we're filming that now. So you'll see me in a couple episodes of that. You can stream Big Back the original parody on all platforms. Really YouTube because they pay the most, but you know, wherever you want to listen to it at. I'll be dropping more merch soon. I'm going to be posting some workout content. uh, yeah, I've been recording. I haven't released yet. So
Okay, okay. I'm here for it. Yes. I'm gonna work out my needs.
yeah. So
Because we gotta counteract, right?
you
Because
said what?
I said we gotta counteract. So you know my platform. My platform's wellness.
Oh, I know. I know.
He said, "Oh, I know."
I thought you was about to get on me when I got.
No, you know what? Honestly and truthfully, I let people live how they live, but I do, you know, I through my own platform shine a light of wellness with hope of people picking it up and say, "Hey, I want to, adopt that into my life too." It only matters if you're close to me and I'm having to share energy with you like in my house. Like nobody
Yeah.
brings me across the threshold of our home, like stuff like that. So it's different if I've lived with you. But if I don't live with you, live your best life. Yes. Whatever that looks like for you. But yes, I'm thankful that you are choosing to also use the platform to say, hey, while I'm over here doing this, let's
Yeah.
also bring it back and do that.
Yeah.
And like you
Definitely.
said, everywhere on all platforms. We can find you at the C in Comedy. What was that
Yes. That's it.
call you online?
Oh, they call me every Cinco Sin.
I love that so much because there's no. Oh, I guess there is. I just never. I knew it was the C in Comedy, but there is the Cinco Med.
I think so. Yeah, it is. It is. But because I have it all together, and I told somebody, my friend Tess told me, he's like, you got to change that. But I like it all together because I feel like it helps people focus on the name more. Cause they be trying to figure it out, like the sync.
Yeah,
So whenever they see it again, they're like, I've seen that before.
yeah,
Yes, you've seen the C in comedy.
the Cinco Med. Comedy. Absolutely. Well, it has been an honor for me to interview you today, and I'm thankful that you took time out. You went to a library, even time away from your family to speak to me and to my audience today. So
Thank you.
well, that's all for me this week. I'm forever honored that you tuned in. Special shout out to Clarence Lomax III for gracing me with his presence and talking to me and us having such an incredible conversation. The before we started recording and the after we started recording conversations were just as awesome. I pointed out that he's laughing more at me than I am at him, but laughter is healing. Laughter is medicine to the soul. So I'm so glad that we got to laugh together and have fun today. And I have actually started going to a platform of 2 shows per month. And so the next show I'm releasing is actually on my birthday, July 28th. Come on, Leo season. You better know. I'm recording this the first day of summer, and I already have my Leo earrings on. And I'm going to be talking about love. And this is actually a part 2 of a part 1. I did an episode in June of last year called Learning to Let Go of Love with Love. And I actually had not did what I said other people should do. So I'm going to talk about my journey of letting go of love with love and the how part, because the what is always easier to digest than the how. And so, yeah, I'm anxious to talk about that and release it on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. 41 never looks so fine. You don't want to miss it. Until then, love and peace to all of you. Have the best week. Thank you for tuning in for a Monday Moment with Dr. Mal, now proudly a part of the Alive Podcast Network. You can find this show on the Live Podcast Network website and app, and you can find this podcast streaming across your favorite podcast streaming platforms. If you love to have the visual, you can tune into my YouTube channel, When Mallory Lives, to see this show and catch up on all my shows from the beginning.